Beyblade X Season 2 is finally over. Not only do we have the conclusion to this season, but we have a teaser for the future showing us new upgrades. So if you are excited and like bays that spin, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. And as well, make sure to check out Mall of Bays. We have plenty of Soul Eclipses ready to be ordered. We import from Japan and we are Canadian based. It is an optional way to support the channel, and I appreciate any and all supports regardless. I kind of spent all of my past week just catching up on the Season 2 anime. I kind of just dropped it just because I felt burnt out from the Beyblade X anime. But I did an entire Twitter thread pretty much just going over all my thoughts episode by episode. So I kind of want to talk about some of the highlights, and then after I get to the kind of like the juicy part of the news near the end. So first of all, with this season, we are introduced to the new character of Tenka Shiraboshi. I thought she was a pretty cool addition to Team Persona. I also like the fact that she's very tactical in how she analyzes her opponents to create strategies. I also like this whole thing of the Shiraboshi technique never loses, literally being expanded upon in the anime to actually have true reasoning for it. This entire season is focused on Tenka versus her mother Omega Shiraboshi with Team Zodiac, as it's two different schools of the Shiraboshi technique. Who's the better one at the end? Whose resolve is better? And then after we see that through the season, and they introduce a new system where if you want to climb to beat them, there is a star betting system. Some of the characters that they kind of focus on, and there's a lot of good content in the season. Multi-Nana Iro, for an example, loses confidence as a bay crafter seeing all these unique line Beyblades and decides to go on a journey to relearn about the passion that she has for making those bays, and it leads to a really cool return in the season. Bird has no confidence at all as a blader and eventually regains it, and then after actually trains and practice in this season to actually get better. I like that they focused on the fact that he's losing and why that's occurring, and I like that they're trying to really give a little bit of focus in there. Common X, nothing special for him in this season. He just gets excited and he battles. He's not that interesting of a character. What else was there? There's a bunch of other stuff and other details. I think the other one I wanted to talk about was Chrome, because Chrome is kind of important in this season, where it's almost like this whole side plot thing of him getting Impact Drake, a bay that transcends the laws of this universe, because the bays follow a certain regulation to be made, and this bay allows for more materials, and that's why it's forbidden. But also, there's like this evil, fucked up dragon that possesses him in the anime, so it's like, okay, so we're kind of just going on realism and a lot of this fictional shit. So they also focus on this whole thing of the underground pros, so there's like the regular ones, and then after like this, oh, the dark world, oh, these are all these crazy pros that just battle, fear them. I don't know, they have some interesting characters, and I do like this plot of Chrome following his path, literally just abandoning his whole team, which that follows them trying to live with that and trying to improve themselves. They introduce an interesting character of Baito, whatever, so it's kind of just pushing Chrome to kind of like the path of the Dark Dragon. There's a bunch of other stuff that I think is cool. I like a lot of the story writing for the characters, and I like how a lot of these plots are interconnected. I really loved in this season, and probably the best thing was Burn Fujiwara versus Chrome, where I think it's probably the best looking episode in Beyblade X, or at least one of the best. It's an interesting battle, and just has very, very good direction. I like that they had Burn Fujiwara, who's trying to take Beyblade into like the Bay time shift to this new generation, and he's kind of like this angel almost, where he's trying to help Chrome get out of this dark path, and he even fails in that, and I think that's really cool. In terms of other stuff, there's also a Multi's teacher who's very silly. I like character design, and I was just wondering for like her, for Baito, and like even Tekume, whatever. They're like these bladers in the anime that they give a lot of focus towards, but they don't even have like actual bays to use. And I always thought that's kind of weird that you're gonna focus on these characters that are interesting and have a lot of focus on them, but don't give them any type of unique content, which I think is kind of unfortunate. In terms of overall for like the Team Zodiac and kind of that stuff, I feel Zodiac is okay compared to Pendragon. I felt like Pendragon, every one of the members of Persona were connected to one person and kind of like reflected off off each other. Multi versus her sister, 𝐏𝐋𝐒 versus Chrome, Bird versus 𝐏𝐿𝐿e. In this season, it's like, I think it's fine, and probably if I have more time to sit in it, I probably will say that it's perfectly fine how they handled it. The final team, I felt like, I wish we could have seen more of them. We do get a lot of their backstories, literally unlike the episodes where it's like their final battle, and I do feel they do sell you on these characters. Well, I'm not too crazy on most of them. I feel it's fine. I liked Omega quite a bit. I felt overall for this season, when I'm looking at it, the story and characters are very rich for what they were able to actually give us. But where this season falls flat is kind of what I've been saying for a while now. I feel a lot of the art and animation is very weak overall for the Beyblade X generation. For whatever the reason may be, I don't feel it contends to the previous burst, which had some greater highs than Beyblade X, Metal Fight, etc. The thing is that the story is so good that sometimes I forget that the battles are fucking terrible. Like, a lot of the battles in Beyblade X that you're going to be watching are very repetitive, very boring. There is some stuff near the end where they actually utilize the avatars a lot more and make them do cool shit in battle, and that's really cool that I love to see. You know, I don't know, there are definitely good parts in animation. There's some good cuts in some episodes and some nice storyboarding shots. There's definitely good stuff. It's just some stuff that they added to the story that I thought was really good. Like, for an example, other teams actually doing the star betting, which is the whole point of climbing to the top in this season. Those were nice additions. In general, they're just some episodes that I feel drag out too much of what they're trying to do. And some of them I feel if you cut them out, like, it doesn't even hurt the overall story. Like, we had a lot of Zuganic episodes that I didn't think we needed. We had, like, a dragged out 3-player battle at the start. Just stuff like that. The final battle for Beyblade X, I think the CG looked pretty cool, but the actual animation, I didn't really like. I thought it was just about average. There was a really good shot of 𝐏𝐋𝐒's launch that I thought that they did pretty well. I do want to kind of comment on the fact that they basically have this whole thing set up for Tenka versus her mom in the finale, and instead of it being Tenka proves that she can beat her mom, or she has the strength, she just relies on the fact that she has her team to back her up, and that's like her strength that can carry her. So even though I don't like that 𝐏𝐋𝐒 wins the final battle, I do think that how they set this up in the finale where, oh, the entire Zodiac team doesn't realize that the teamwork that they try to abandon on trying to be so obsessed with coming out on the top is the reason why they lost. So even though I would have liked it if maybe Tenka could have won, I do think this whole power of friendship, or whatever you want to call it, I think this is fine in the context now that they're able to kind of let this settle in, where the manga was so abrupt. Where they kind of show off something that's really cool is once we get to the preview for Season 3, where they actually kind of give us a weird teaser, and I'm kind of worried about it in a way, which is that they show Drawn Brave and Wizard Arc, but it's not Wizard Arc, because it's a new wizard. They gave a new main blade to it, and Drawn Brave has a new assist blade. We don't have full images, and we're probably gonna get stuff maybe way later on. I don't even know how long it'll be. These are like, I guess, upgrades to the current blades that they're using. It's not like a full-on, you know, full-on new bay. No, it could just be that they're kind of just teasing you. An actual full upgrade will be, let's say, like March 2026. That could be a possibility. But if you remember something in Beyblade Burst, they did this thing where I call it like Beyblade DLC, where you'd have to buy other shit to upgrade your stuff. So I'm kind of wondering if we're just gonna get like, oh, this release also comes with a Drawn Brave upgrade of the assist blade. This release comes with a Wizard Arc upgrade for the main blade, where you have to buy other releases to upgrade previous stuff. I'm kind of indecisive on whether I'm gonna really hate that or just be whatever with it. On one hand, I guess not to do a full release, maybe that can make sense, but on the other hand, for the costs and all that stuff, I don't know if that's a good idea, but it could be something they might go towards. I'm intrigued to see if we're just gonna get them explore more other motifs and do other stuff while finding maybe some sort of clever way to still upgrade the main Persona cast without having to dedicate like a full-on release. that's where it gets interesting, and that's what I'm kind of thinking about for the future, what we're gonna get, because we already have some of the release schedule where maybe we could see some stuff. They're still doing a mix of UX, CX, and BX. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. Are they gonna make a new line, or are we just gonna see them expand on the custom line system and try to build it to be stronger so it can compete with UX and some of the BX stuff? But that's kind of where I want to end off part of this video. I felt I got my thoughts on the new season pretty much out there. I do think this season is very, very good. If you're just focusing on it for like the story and you're okay with like the battles really being poor, then you will definitely enjoy this season. If you're hoping that the battles get better from the previous season, I do have bad news for you. It doesn't. But if you're kind of okay with that, you will definitely have a good time with Season 2 of Beyblade X. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I want to say thank you all for watching. That's going to be it for now. Take care and bye!